What would you think if I told you they've been lying right to your face? Would you maybe be a little bit annoyed, maybe a little frustrated, or would you just think, it's just par for the course, I'm not shocked whatsoever? Well, guess what? That's exactly what they've been doing for the last year or so, as we just got a new report out of the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics today, that is showing exactly that. They've been cooking the books on the jobs reports every single month, and we have found that over the last year or so that there's significantly less jobs that were created than what they actually reported to us every single month during the non-farm payroll reporting, which is the first Friday of every month. Well, that's what I want to focus on here in this video, because this is not necessarily a good thing for the overall economy, like we've been talking about for a long time now. And like I said before in other videos, if we dip into a major economic recession or economic contraction, that means the money may start a-flowing yet again, like it did a few years ago. Anyway, I have all the details, and I want to talk you through it right here in this video. Let's jump into it. First off, can I ask a huge favor of you? If you have not done so yet, will you make sure to subscribe to the channel right down below the video? Big subscribe button. Thank you. Really appreciate your support, and let's talk through the details. All right, so check this out. This report was just released today, again, from the BLS, which stands for Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they took a time frame from April of last year, 2023, through March of this year, 2024, a 12-month period of time. So remember, every single month, the first Friday of every month, we get a jobs report that basically tells us how many jobs were created, or the last month, or what's going on with the unemployment rate, and a whole variety of other factors. Well, we get that out on the first Friday of every month. Well, as we can see right here, they basically told us 818,000 more jobs were actually created than what really were. So in other words, they miscounted by 818,000 jobs. I'm not really sure how you do that, but yeah, I have no clue how somebody does that. I could see being off by maybe a few thousand, maybe 5,000 or 10,000 over the course of a year, but nearly 1 million jobs over the course of 1 year is a miscount? I don't know. Seems kind of odd to me, but that's actually what happened here, okay? So if we average this out, by the way, so over that 12-month period of time, 818,000 jobs less than what they've actually, what they were reporting to us, that calculates out to over 68,000 jobs per month that were actually not there that they told us that they were. So every month when they come out and say, oh yeah, 212,000 jobs were created this month, what they really should have been saying was that, 150,000 jobs were created this month. Yeah, that's about what it was really going to be, right? So interesting how this whole thing plays out. Now, here's another interesting point about this as well. So right now, the most recent jobs report that we received shows that the unemployment rate is sitting at 4.3%. Okay, fine. That's, it's getting up there. It's moving up. But with these numbers right here, when we extract this extra 818,000 jobs and say, yeah, those were actually never there, this means that the unemployment rate is actually probably significantly higher than what they actually recently reported. So I have not seen an adjustment to that, but I would anticipate if this is the case here, we're probably looking at a real unemployment rate, probably somewhere around 4.6%, somewhere right around that range, if this were, taken into consideration. So we're actually kind of pushing near that 5% range on real unemployment if we look at the real actual numbers based on the new adjustments here for this, right? Now, here's what else is interesting. Every single month when we get the jobs report, they come out with revisions. Maybe you've heard me talk about this, right? So we get the initial number that comes out and says, oh yeah, we created, X number of jobs, and oh, we're doing a great job, and this economy is just buzzing along. Meanwhile, nobody's working, everybody's struggling financially, everybody's getting hosed every time you get turned, or every time you turn around. Everybody's struggling, not a good situation, right? But then they come out and say, oh, but we're actually making some revisions. We're revising down 40,000, 50,000, 70,000 jobs from the last report. So there's always revisions as well, okay? That's kind of funny that, on a month-over-month basis as well, there's always miscounts there too. So anyway, this is an interesting report. It's very interesting to see this, that they came out with this information here, adjusting this and saying, oh, sorry, we miscounted by 818,000 jobs. No big deal. Don't look now. But this is what's going on. So I'm very curious to see how this impacts everything going forward. But this is not a shock whatsoever. On years like this, on election years, usually a lot of these economic numbers are usually manipulated. Just saying, right? So I don't think this is any shock to be like, oh my, we're seeing a huge uptick in job creation and things like that. It's not a huge shock. Just like things like, the inflation reports every month coming down, showing, oh, inflation's easing and things like this, and the Federal Reserve coming out and likely cutting interest rates very soon here. It's all, politically motivated. We know better than that to act like, we don't know any better. Let's be real. We know, right? It's all a big game. They act like, oh, we're just pulling a fast one on them. They don't have any idea. We're doing it right under their nose, right? We know better than that. I mean, let's be real, right? We know exactly what's going on here. So it's going to be very interesting to watch this whole thing play out going forward. But another report here coming out, and I like to watch this stuff. Now, one more thing I want to point out really fast, which is this much. When we see an economic contraction, when we see a recession, when we see the economy contracting significantly, what happens every single time? By the way, this is not a promise, but this is something I just want to point out. Every time the economy contracts and goes into a recession, stimulus is provided, okay? Every single time. If you don't believe me, go back and look it up yourself. Check out the recession from 2000, 2001. Check out the recession from 2008, 2009. Look at the recession from 2020 to 2021. Look at that one. Every single time stimulus is provided. They print hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars, trillions as of recently. And then they plow it out in the form of all kinds of different programs that are out there. And it's just money for the grabbing, okay? And a lot of it includes stimulus checks as well. Again, no promises. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just simply saying, if we do really see a major recession, and again, I want to point this out. I say this all the time. The number one metric that I watch, that I say is the most important. Now, again, there's others that are very important as well, but the number one that I continue watching to give us an overall view and overall barometer of the economy is the jobs reports. Why? It gives us a big picture view of the overall economy. If jobs are being created massively, unemployment is going down, the economy is probably pretty strong, robust, right, at that time. Now, if jobs are not being created, if the unemployment rate is going up, labor participation rate is going down, average hourly earnings is going down, things like this, all these metrics are going down, not good for the economy, right? Less money to be used in the economy to stimulate, to buy goods and services, things like that, right? So this is good. It's a very, very, very important report, in my opinion, the jobs report. And this one we just got today kind of just disrupts the whole thing, right? So anyway, hope you found this to be interesting. Hope you found this to be helpful. Again, I will continue to keep you posted on this. What is this going to do to us right now today? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing for us right now today. But what it does mean is that going forward, maybe we should figure out how to count. I don't know. Maybe we should learn how to count, go back to elementary school and figure out the basics of life here. Counting 1, 2, 3. Yeah, not that hard to figure out, right? We should probably figure out how to do that. And then from there, we can figure out how to count jobs. Yeah. And then we can figure out, better how we can accurately translate this information to the people so we know what's going on here. But right now, it's not going to do anything. But what it does do is it loses a lot of credibility with the information that's out there as far as what's being reported to us and, the overall health of the real economy. Is the economy really as strong as what they've been telling us? Probably not. Probably not nearly, right? What are the numbers? If they can't even count, jobs, if they can't even figure that one out, how many of these other reports out there are also being, not completely accurately reported to us? Like, I don't know, inflation maybe. Is that maybe one that's not accurate? Yeah, exactly, right? Anyway, let's leave it at that for now. Please subscribe down below, share the video with your friends on my social media, check out the other videos here on the channel, the thousands in the video library, the ones I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section, and right now popping up your screen as well. You'll see some videos there. Thanks so much. Enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.